nothing compares, no worries.
Back in the peg that I was in last week, so I'm currently sat with my waders around my ankles because the rods are in the drink. Yeah, I turned up this morning about 5:30, done a few laps, just sort of looking for any sign at all of fish. Didn't really see a lot. Last night when I come to try and trickle a bit of bait in, just in this peg, I'd seen a fish show just off the edge of that scrub island, so I was sort of one of the first places I came to. So just wanted to get in here and just have a look, just to see if anything was going on. Some of the baits that I put down have gone, so there has been something in here. So I just sort of left my gear in here, went for another walk round, and just before I got there, the guys had literally just put a fish back further up the lake. So there's definitely one or two up there, up that end. I think they're spread out quite a bit as well. Obviously no one's been on, so fair play to them. I didn't want to impede too much, so I've come out the way. It's not something I like to do, sort of fishing next to and opposite people. I just don't think it's very nice now. A couple of years I might have done, but no, I don't like looking into other people's bivvies across the other side, and I know a lot of other people don't as well, so I thought better not. I'll come back to my other spot. And as I climbed up the ladder, this was probably another hour on, come back around the other way. I thought I'd do one last look, and as I got up the ladder, I thought I could make out the tail of a fish. So pretty sharpish, unloading my gear, got my rods out, just flicked a couple of boilies just over that spot, then put my rod out just to try and if there was anything there, just to edge it off so I could get the rig in. So I'm using 4-ounce leads, so I do go in with a bit of a plop. So I just wanted to try and push anything out that was there just a little bit, enough to get the rig in, without spooking them off for good. But yeah, rod went out, probably another 20 odd baits over the top just to try and top up the spot. Put the right hand one out, and that was that. Got my gear set up, got my brolly going, and got myself sorted. So yeah, not long after I put the camera down, the bobbin had come up. Just seen it blink, the bobbin just twitched like that. It come up, touched the blank, and then sort of stopped there. It didn't move. So I left it a few minutes, put my waders on. It still hadn't moved, so I picked the rod up. Thought I've been done here. I've been done, or it's just sitting there mouthing the bait. So I picked the rod up. No resistance at all, so nothing was mouthing it. Brought it back, and the hair was all tangled around the hook. So yeah, I've been done there. But after last week, after that fish had caused a commotion, everything seemed to push out. Just as we was getting into dark, the fish started showing quite long, right past the scrub islands. So obviously you can't, bad idea fishing past snags. You can guarantee one or two things is going to happen. You're either going to get cut off, or you're going to tether the fish. So not a good idea at all. So I just had to sort of sit there in dismay watching them show and nut out, and yeah, that was disappointing, but there we go, that's carp fishing for you. So yeah, I'm feeling confident. Still the first day. It's got really nice now. I mean, it was horrible this morning. Wind was blowing absolute hooligan. It was freezing. It was about 4 degrees, so it was really cold as well. Proper strong wind, so it was really bitter at that bottom end of the lake walking around. But as we've got on, it's got a bit warmer, a been up to about between 10 and 13 degrees now, so yeah, sun's come out, so it's a nice evening now. Wind's dropped a little bit, but it's still quite windy, but fortunately it's quite out of the way here. Yeah, the other thing that swayed me as well was the fact that I know the wind's due to change and blow back southwesterly, so it's going to be taking back up that end of the lake. And from what I've heard and spoke to people, what most of the time tends to happen, some of the stock will move further up right to the top and follow the wind full force, and then others will push into this bay. For whatever reason, I don't know, but they'll push into this bay. I mean, there's a lot of features in here. There's a lot of snags, scrub islands all around, and it's quite sheltered as well. So it is a real fish holding area. I'll show you a bit later on, but it's a real good fish holder. You can understand why that they'd sit up in here quite a bit. So yeah, I'm just going to sit it out on that one, but that's due to change tonight. That is about midnight. The wind's going to start turning. So probably give it till tomorrow afternoon. If nothing's happened, then I'll go for a good wander around and see if I can find a few. But no, I'll leave you there. If I have anything, you'll see me again tonight. If not, I'll catch up with you in the morning. Right guys, so sort of pushing into the afternoon now. I know I said I'd catch up with you in the morning, but I haven't had a chance. I've been super busy and active this morning. Since, what time is it now? 3 o'clock now. Since about 9 o'clock I pulled the rods in, donned the waders and went for a walk all around the scrub islands. The sun was just shining straight into them, so I was on the hinkling that they might have moved into there, but I couldn't. I spent a good hour and a half sort of in that little square of scrub islands, and nothing moved in or out, and there was definitely nothing there, because you can see all straight through that. So there was nothing there then. Come back, changed back to my trainers, and then sort of took a slow walk further up the lake, and spoke to the man at the top, and he'd seen a few show yesterday evening. There we go. Bingo. Just clocked that out of the corner of my eye. Yeah, he'd seen a few shows yesterday evening, but the winds took a bit of a dramatic change now. It's completely reversed on itself, and the weatherman was actually right for once. So yeah, well done. So the wind's gone back the other way. Fish has completely threw me off now. I need to get my rods in the water and get my arse into gear. But yeah, so I went a good walk round. I've just been doing laps of the lake all day pretty much, while the sun's been out and I can see through the water column. I've just been doing lap after lap after lap, and then I think it was on the second one I'd clocked in the other pool, so there's like a bund that separates. In the other pool I clocked two, just out of the corner of my eye, just seeing something orange floating around in the bay in there. I thought, what the hell is that? So I paid a bit closer attention to it, and lo and behold, it was it's actually a big koi carp that was supposed to be in the other lake, but yeah, more than likely the flooding's taking it over unless somebody's moved it, which I can't really see that happening, to be honest with you. There's no naughty boys on here, I don't think, so yeah, I think more than likely flooding's took it over. But anyway, I'm waffling now. So I went back, just jumped in the van because that was pretty much behind where I was. Come flying back down as far as I could, down to where I am. Grabbed the rod, unhook him at my other necessities and the camera. Shot back up there, and had to go stalking for them, but they just going straight over the bait. So I primed a few spots that I'd noticed they were travelling up and down the bank. So sort of the areas that looked like they'd been fed on, I just crumbled up a few boilies and flicked them in. And they were just cruising straight over the top of them. They just weren't interested. So I hadn't got any equipment with me or here to float a fish. So that sort of blew that one out of the water. Carried on, done another lap around that lake. See nothing, so I've sort of got all my stuff together, moved the van back into the car park, and then sort of come slow walk back round this way, just in case I've seen anything. But as I arrived back into my peg, I've gone straight up the ladders, and as the sun come out, I've sort of sat there for about 10 minutes, didn't see anything. As the sun come out again, it's sort of gone a bit cloudy now, it's been absolutely burning hot all morning. I just clocked a shadow just behind one of the scrub islands, and they just clocked something just move over because the substrate, there's sort of clearer and darker areas out there, which is sort of the gravel bar, well, not a bar, but gravelly patches, lighter patches in the substrate. I just sort of seen something move over it, so I sort of fixated on that area for a bit, and then I seen it again, and then the sun really come out there, and that's when I just clocked him just moving off in the water column. So I sort of sat and watched for another few minutes. The sun went in and then come back out, and then I seen him again. So I know he's definitely moving around behind that scrub island. And then with that show over there, that's just sort of confirmed as well what I thought might happen and what other people have said will probably happen. But yeah, so I'm going to get a rod on that in a minute. I'm not too worried. I can get to that spot, and I know I can wade up to that scrub island as well and get behind the back of it. And I'm using £20 touchdown. It's like tow rope. There's just no giving it, so I'm not too worried about snagging up behind that island. I know I can get to him should he get snagged up, so I'm pretty confident I can get him back from there. But I haven't seen anything move over this spot, so yeah, I think in a couple of minutes time, as soon as I get off the camera, I'm going to get my waders back on, freshen up my baits, and then just try and flick a few boilies straight over around him if I can. I don't think I'm going to be able to see him from the bank where he is, so it's just going to be the case of sort of try and flick a few boilies around that area, trying to edge him off ever so slightly, just enough to get the rig in, and then take it from there. And the same to the left hand rod as well. Just take it, softly catchy monkey kind of thing. Take it real nice and steady, not to rush in. Yeah, and hopefully land one. So I'll try and catch up with you later this evening. Yeah, that's all I've got to report, so catch you later. Right, so unfortunately I've got nothing back to report. As you can see, it's probably 24 hours since I last spoke to you. Nothing's really gone on. I had a move, it was about 9 o'clock last night. The fish started showing long, so I sort of come round, had a quick look, and then one rolled straight in front of me, so I made the decision to move. Moved. It was massive rush to get my rods in before the dark, so that was a bit of a fuck up, to be honest with you, but there we go. Nothing's really gone on today. I've seen them milling around. They've definitely been in the area, and there's one or two still here as well. I mean, I've been watching them most of the day, just sort of cruising around one of these scrub islands, and then sort of in this bay, and out sort of onto the island. But nothing looks as if it wants to be feeding. There's been no actual shows as well, so I've just been sort of watching them cruise just under the surface. So no notable things there. But no, I was holding off all day thinking I'm going to get one, it's going to happen. It just hasn't come up. It would have been fantastic to have a fish out for the camera for you in front of you, but just hasn't happened. So yeah, there's a bit of a downer on that one again. But no, I'm holding out the hopes for tonight. I managed to find the spot where they were feeding on last night, where they were showing. There was a mass amount of activity in that very localised area, so I thought I'd check that out with the fish spy. And what I've found is there was an area that had been cleared off, and all the weed had just quite obviously just been shredded. There was new growth there, probably only that big, and then the surrounding areas where it was probably up to 6-7 inches long. So something had quite clearly been ripping that area to pieces. Plus there was all like debris everywhere, and around the sides of where this little spot was, there was all the sort of the silty little sediment had gone up the side and resting on the weed. So I'm 99% sure that is the spot where they've been feeding on. So I took the weed rake out because I couldn't really see what it was. And I've just been pulling bits of weed back and having a look, and there's water snails, there's little clear globules, I don't actually know what they are, and a few pieces of bloodworm as well. So that's definitely what they've been feeding on. I've been having a right munch on the naturals there. So I've got back on that spot, popped the marker float up, and I've just filled it in, probably with about roughly a kilo of boilies, just to sort of try and see if I can get something going again tonight. I don't think it was good. Weren't sure on that spot through the day, but I was more banking on that for the night, for tonight. So I'm holding out for that. But I was just sort of kept, just cruised past trying to do the rod tips. Yeah, I was more banking on that left-hand rod up against a shrub island. I've just been sort of roaming it around most of the day, seeing if I can sort of intercept any whilst they're moving about in between the islands and the bank. So, but yeah, that didn't quite exactly go to plan. So yeah, it was a bit disappointing for me, and I'm sure it is for you as well. But no, so we'll go through standard routine. I'm off in the morning, so if you don't see me again, well, if you don't see me again by the end of the video, I've obviously gone home in a Mardi. So yeah, again, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next one.